Welcome back, my friend.
Hello, what have we here?
Jedi, we've been expecting you.
Knew I could count on you.
Hello.
Welcome to the rebellion. What fun!
Welcome to Hybrid Goes Fan Expo Chicago 2026. Awesome convention. I'm so glad to be back this year and incredibly generous of them. Once again, I have gotten a press pass. So thankful for that. I'm getting ready to go in. There's a couple of autographs I'm after for today. We're going to hang out with 212 Hunter, 1313 Jackson. Got some legendary guys. And we're going to see what the toy scene's like in Chicago. Let's go ahead and try and turn up some cool action figures for the collection and have a good time. Let's go. First stop, they always give you a free little rope lanyard. I want a nicer one. Let's go to the merch booth. Superman was my flavor of choice this year. First look at the vendor floor. Princeton Collectibles is a cool booth. We will come back to them. Let's go see what the autograph situation is and then see what we can turn up shopping. And all the Star Wars voice actors are right here and convenient. Let's go. This is a piece I've been waiting to finish since Motor City Con early last year when I met Ahmed Best. Because it's a favorite Clone Wars episode of mine. I got the Jar Jar and Grievous 2-pack with the Misa more of a deep thinker quote. So I'm going to get Matt Wood to sign the other half at some show somewhere, someday, eventually. So this is a project for now. But now I'm in line to meet Matthew Wood. I'm going to get the Grievous autograph from that awesome episode of Clone Wars, the meeting that never should have happened. And now, this is a finished Grail. I'm so excited about this. All my autographs are procured. I'm going to show them off when I get to the car. And I have run into the one, the only, the legendary 212 Hunter. Long time no see. And we've been joined by the 1313 podcast. He only got like one lift on that thing. It was pretty pathetic. 212 Hunter is going to get an autograph from Tamara Morrison. Great guy. Met Brendan Wayne back in Fan Expo Philadelphia. Check that vlog out if you missed it. We're going to hang out with Hunter and then we might go find a snack or something. So Hunter's got the Black Series Cody set going on. What colors are you getting?
Blue chrome.
So Hunter got his Codys. Yep. That blue chrome does look nice. We got the OG, the retro. I think his Tem is a man of the people. He even gave him a print, which is super generous. So we love Tem in this house. And for real people, do your part. Like, leave comments on anything that Disney posts. We want Tem back in Star Wars. That's how we get him back. has been awesome, but the day is winding down. There's only 1 hour left. We got 212 Hunter hanging out in Keith David's line. Once he gets his autographs from him, we are probably calling it a day. I am several hours from home. I am hungry. I want a Chicago deep dish while we are in the city, and we are going to have a good hang with the guys before we part ways. Haven't seen 212 Hunter in person for almost 2 years, which is insane. We are really tight, so just trying to make the most of it. So we are on our way out and getting ready to go eat. I'm walking with 212 Hunter here. He just gave me this Keith David autograph. That's cool. So I'm about to carry, but we'll see.
It's so easy.
It's so easy. We are going to go get a deep dish pizza with 1313 Jackson and hang out before I begin the cross-country trek home. All right, I'm home, and what are these? Not pickups, but they are spoilers for what are coming in the next few days. So I have a couple of new Black Series clone sets early, and those are fun. But let me tell you a little bit about the Fan Expo Chicago experience. Me personally, my travel there, I did it the most intense way possible. I drove. I woke up at 3 in the morning, Saturday morning. I drove 6.5 hours to Comic-Con. I stayed there all day until 9 o'clock their time. They're an hour over from mine. I'm in Eastern Standard. They're in Central. And then I left at 9, which is 10 o'clock my time. I got home at 5 in the morning, Sunday morning. So I drove just shy of 900 miles over the course of 25 hours. So I had a day, but it was a really fun day. It is always great getting to spend time with my friends. I've not seen 212 Hunter in some time, and it was just great getting to see him, and I had an absolute blast, and 1313 Jackson and Obi-Shan are epic, and I love seeing them, so it was just really, really good. So, opening up with a ginormous thank you once again to Fan Expo. I attended Fan Expo Chicago with a press pass, which is just really cool that I'm eligible for such a thing. And I just cannot believe that this little dumb YouTube channel that I made to talk about toys and occasionally share a Comic-Con experience has gotten to the point that it covers my admission sometimes. I mean, who would have ever guessed that? This is purely a hobby for me. I have fun doing this, but you notice every now and then I take a week or two and don't upload. Can't just not go to work for a week or two, so clearly I'm doing it for fun, and it's been a lot of fun, and I just greatly appreciate Fan Expo for appreciating the hobby and encouraging it and sharing it, so thank you guys so much there. I'm going to go ahead and show off the haul and then talk about the experience throughout. So when I got there, it was right at opening. I was in the door right at about 10, and 1313 Jackson was waiting in Sam Witwer's line. He was a little bit of a late arrival, but all the other people I wanted to meet were there. I was passing on Sam Witwer budget and not wanting to spend time in that line. So the first line I got into was Vanessa Marshall's, and she is absolutely insane. We met her a couple years back at ICCC, and she remembers me and my group, which is so nice. She very much appreciates her fans, and as much of a Star Wars Rebels fan as I am, I was definitely going with some love for Maul Shadow Lord this time. So, interesting thing with that Rookcast Funko Pop, I found her and Icarus at a Meijer early before they were supposed to ship. I found her and Icarus, and it was a really, really awesome thing to find. It was before the show was out. It was just really cool having something early. I always like hitting something before it's out if possible, right? And look at the clone sets behind this. And I gifted the Icarus to Vincent of Carbonites, and I was like, I'm going to get this signed someday. I did not think it would only be a couple months away, but I'm so glad it was. That was great. And of course, as I mentioned, I am a ginormous Rebels fan. 212 Hunter, the insanely legendary friend he is, gifted me a HasLab Ghost, and I have been working on getting the characters included with that signed, so I had Vanessa Marshall sign it in just a silver paint pen. I started this last year when I was able to get Steve Bloom at a gaming convention in Cleveland, and so I'm just going through the Rebels cast as I can meet them again, and I'm just getting them in, it's a Deco Color Silver I've been using. These card backs are so colorful, you almost have to ask, like, what color's the right color? And I was wondering if I would use orange, and then I was like, I think silver works. It works really good when the light's hitting them. Sometimes they're a little hard to see when the light is not. But I'm going to put them in a custom shadow box I'll build, and I'll have an LED strip in it, and the light will always be hitting them, so we'll be okay. But just showing off that little part of the set there, just a really, really, really awesome thing. Really do enjoy working on collections and making sets happen, so really happy about that. Setting my Zeb aside, then I hopped into line for David Collins, who voices Spybot in Maul Shadow Lord, and we had an excellent conversation. He's not just a voice actor, he's not really much of a voice actor at all. He works for Lucasfilm in the sound department, which is super cool, and he shared that Spybot actually was an embargoed character, kind of like Ezra in the Ahsoka series, because if an action figure of an adult Ezra comes out before the episode airs, Ezra's alive, Now that makes sense. Spybot being embargoed doesn't so much. We agreed on that. So that's why there's no Spybot merch. There's no Black Series, there's no Funkos, there's no Lego figures, anything. But he wasn't just Spybot. He was also Proxy. Way back in the day in the Force Unleashed games, which were just legendary parts of my childhood. My brother and I absolutely wore out some Wii nunchucks just playing that game over and over and over again in the living room. So I had to get my Proxy autograph, and then he was charging for quotes, and I was like, I can't think of a good Proxy one, so I didn't pay for it. And then I went over to him, and we're talking a little bit, and we talked for several minutes, just a really, really nice guy. And he's like, did you get a quote on it? And I was like, I didn't pay for it, I couldn't think of a good one. And I was like, unless you know a good one and you want to. And he's like, I gotcha. So he did I will complete my primary programming, because Proxy is always trying to permanently win a training session with Starkiller, which is just, we love our murder droids in Star Wars. So, really loving those. And then I finished something awesome. I'm going to set these aside, make room for, this is insane. Matthew Wood was there, legendary Lucasfilm employee, voice of General Grievous, battle droids, mercenary droids, all sorts of little one-off lines in all the animated shows. And I finished my Jar Jar Binks versus General Grievous Funko 2-pack last year at Motor City Con. I had Ahmed Best sign this, and he did the Misa more of a deep thinker quote. This is from Season 4, Episode 4. When the Gungans, the leader, Boss Leone, is being mind-controlled into a meeting with the Separatists to join the Separatists and go to war with the Republic's allied human half of the planet Naboo. And they think that Jar Jar is going to have to negotiate with a senator, and no one but General Grievous shows up, and he is petrified. He is pretending to be Boss Leone, and General Grievous hits him with, you are a man of few words, Boss Leone. And Jar Jar's like, Misa more of a deep thinker, which is very far from Jar Jar. But this is super cool, getting both of them on that. That is an episode that I have loved forever and thought it was so cool that we got a Funko battle pack of them, basically. So really, really happy to have this. This is just, as a Clone Wars kid, that is just a grail in the collection. What an insane thing. Two characters that should have never met, right? But again, just insane addition to the collection. From there were a couple of pickups at the actual convention. Vanessa Marshall gave me this cool little card with a QR code for Pod of Rebellion, which you guys should listen to if you don't. It is a rewatch podcast with Vanessa Marshall and Tia Sakar and Taylor Gray, and they rewatch Rebels and talk about it episode by episode, which is really, really cool. I'm blanking on the guy's name, but their host is a really, really good host. He steers the conversation well. They have this guy, JC, that comes in on the end to fact check stuff. I don't know where they found that guy. They can get rid of him. He's been like a Star Wars fan forever, which is fine. But they're like, okay, like tell us the facts at the end. And then he just says stuff very confidently that is not right. So I'm not the biggest fan of that guy. But that's all right. I just skipped the last 5 minutes of each episode. But a very fun podcast otherwise. A legendary stop was at Enamel Empire. They are longtime friends of the channel. I have acquired many things from them over the years. We met at our first ever ICCC back in 2023 now. Gosh, that was like 4 years ago. And that was a great time. And I have been buying pins from them ever since. And I acquired their convention exclusive Commander Wolf. And then this little Lego. Oh no! As I throw that off the table, it is a minifigure keychain of the prototype Boba Fett from way back in the day. So very, very cool additions to my pin board. I like picking up an occasional pin. And then they were running a deal. If you spend $40 with them, they would give you a free little dangling tech keychain. Because what else do you need at Comic-Con other than a reminder of one of the most legendary clones? So we'll set that up there. And then otherwise at the convention, I stopped at a booth, Manfish Inc. Check them out. I really liked her art. She did a lot of, gosh, I'm blanking on the term, but it's all of your cultural monsters, your Mothman and such. I'm actually personal life punch-in. I'm talking to someone. They're potentially going to be off the market here soon. And she is a Mothman fan, and I was just thinking of her. But cryptids is the word I'm thinking of. But yeah, I just saw that, and I was like, hey, yeah, I'm going to give that to her. She might like that. But really, really cool pen, and just a fun art style, and something I wanted to pick up. So, oh no! So that's really, really cool. Other than that, that was it for my convention pickups, although I did get a couple of neat things from 212 Hunter. He found at his local, or one of his local Walmarts, just in the clearance aisle randomly, a $5 Mandalorian series Stormtrooper, a 2020 Stormtrooper. What a cool thing to find for $5. So that was really, really cool of him. He's getting out of the collecting game outside of a very few specific, specially curated things, and so he's been selling a lot of things. I recommend you all go check out his Instagram. He has been making posts with certain things, some of them expensive, some of them grail items, things that are like really, really cool things. But he had been army building Black Series B1 battle droids, and there are 20 of them in this box, and he made me a deal. So I bought 20 tan battle droids from him. So my Separatist shelf is about to get a major overhaul in a big way. But yeah, that was it for my pickups. What a great haul. Again, these fan expos and Galaxy Cons, I love going to them, but the hauls tend to be the autographs. You get a lot of vendors that go to every convention, and they're not just people selling stuff. They're running a store, and I was talking with Obi-Shan. Gosh, my favorite ones to go to for action figures are where it's like a guy getting rid of some extra collection or stuff that he doesn't need anymore, and you can kind of barter a little bit. You can talk to them because like they're people and not businesses. And you go to like a fan expo, and gosh, everyone has their action figures for $10 more than they need to be. And you're like, gosh, I'll buy like these 3, but can you cut me a deal? And then they'll be like, well, I can knock like $5 off. And like, no, like, I like things like Toy Hio, where I can go up to someone and grab like 5 Hot Toys and be like, make me a deal, and they'll knock like $300 off because you're buying 5 Hot Toys. And it's just a different type of vibe at these, and just as a collector, it doesn't scratch the itch for me personally. So I don't normally pick up a lot, but I do like getting little bits of art and stuff, and the enamel pins have definitely been a lot of fun lately. Something that was great was the Maul Shadow Lord panel. I don't always make it into panels, but when I do, they're usually fun. And Sam Witwer is a very, very good host. He knows how to keep the crowd laughing, and he's got some jokes that you can tell he probably says at most every panel, but like that doesn't make them not funny. And so he was just a hoot to listen to. He and David Collins are apparently very good friends in real life, and they get quite silly together. So that was just excellent to see their energy bouncing off of each other. And as far as the Fan Expo Chicago experience, I gotta say, it was generally positive. They've got some great names coming these days. They had Kurt Russell at his first ever con. I was balling on a little bit of a budget, otherwise I would have potentially gone for him. He is a great actor. And they had some other actors that either I've met before or just don't quite catch my interest enough, but like still some great calls. And I gotta say, it's always like a great guest list, but they're getting to the point where they're attracting a lot of people, and that venue was getting very full. It was very frustrating a lot of the time trying to walk around. Most of my B-roll footage ended up happening in the final hour and a half of the day because people had started to trickle out all day long. If you were outside of the autograph lines, which still keep you pretty tightly packed, you'd be walking around the vendor floor bumping into people everywhere you go because you are just shoulder to shoulder to shoulder. And that's just how it is at some of these bigger cons, but this was particularly crowded, even beyond what they tend to be. So, I don't know ultimately what the solution is there. I know there are other venues in Chicago that are larger, because it's either like get a couple less celebrities to draw a little bit less in the way of people, or like go somewhere bigger. And what do? I still had fun, but it was frustrating. I mean, and good luck if you wanted to go get a soda from, one of the food trucks, because they all had a line of 100+ people. It was an hour-long commitment to get food at any time. So we just didn't eat or drink anything. They had a couple water coolers set up around the panel area. That was nice. You can just go get a cup of water. But I always say, like, gosh, someone would do well if they had a business where they did, like, vending machines for sodas. Or like soda, Gatorade, water, all that, and did them on a temporary thing where like a Comic-Con can say, hey, come set up with us for the weekend. If someone would just bring in like 50 vending machines and plug them in, that way you could help disperse the crowds. Gosh, it sucks to go get in a line and there's 100 people in front of you ordering a pretzel and you just want a bottle of water, Very specific complaint, but still a complaint. I did manage to sneak in an outside Gatorade from the car, so they didn't say anything, but I don't think you're typically supposed to bring in outside food or drink, but I walked in with my press pass and they didn't say anything. But yeah, otherwise, other than it just getting crazy busy, it still was a good time. And I always say, gosh, a con where you leave with every autograph you wanted to get, we're calling that a win. And this absolutely was a win. These are some legendary additions to the collection, an insane special piece there with the Jar Jar and Grievous pack. I wasn't gonna, we had to do that a little bit different. Ahmed Best, super nice guy, love the guy. But I wasn't gonna be like, do it this way when he did my autograph. I wish he'd done his autograph there and the quote in the middle. That way the quote could have been between the characters, because then I was like, do your quote. He's like, you want me to hide the Jar Jar? And I was like, I know he's in there. Do it like we can read it like a book. And he's like, all right. And we talked about that episode, and it was just a really fun episode that he likes very much as well. So, but yeah, just some insane additions. So thank you for listening to me ramble for as long as I have. I'm going to dip, get this vlog put up, and try and get a little bit more sleep so that I can maybe halfway function at work on Monday. So, thank you, Fan Expo, for allowing me to go, and I could have gone either way, but for gifting me the ability to attend as a member of the press. Super, super insane. And yeah, I will catch y'all on the next one. As far as what the next convention is, hard to say. The Comic-Con Erie is coming up. I intend to go. I am eyeing GalaxyCon St. Louis. That's a possibility. that was a fun trip with my brother last year. Whether I take my brother or someone else this year, I don't entirely know. And Steel City Con in December is a lock. They just got J.K. Simmons, and that is an insane opportunity for an autograph that I will be doing for the collection. So, anyways, thank you all for watching once more. I will catch you next time. May the Force be with you. Until next time, have a good one. Bye.